Alright, so this video we're going to take a look at truth tables for negations, conjunctions, and disjunctions. And I'll have another video on tables for conditional and biconditional. It'll be the video after this one in the playlist. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's just review a little bit about what negation is. So we've got the negation of a statement, and this is the symbol we use, and it means the opposite truth value. Okay, it's the opposite truth value. So what we can do is we can do a truth table. So we have a statement P, and the possible values of P would be, it can be true or it can be false. Okay, so T represents true, F represents false. Now in some books you might see, instead of using T and F, they'll use 1 and 0, 1 for true, 0 for false. Okay, so you know that's a good thing to also be familiar with, is the 1s and 0s, using that for true and false instead of T and F. This right here would probably align more with like computers, you know, programming computers and stuff like that. But the book I'm using uses T and F, so that's what we'll use here, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what most contemporary math books use, is T and F for true and false. So the possible values for a statement P, it can either be true or it can be false. Okay, if you remember back when we several videos before, I think it was the first video on this logic stuff, that a statement is either true or false. Okay, so it can be true or false. And then if we want to list the truth values for the negation of P, so what would not P mean? Well, if P is true, then not P would be false, okay, because it has the opposite truth value. And then if P is false, what would the negation of P have? Well, that would be true. And so that would be your truth table for P, okay, if you're looking for the truth table for not P. All right, so let's look at this one. Conjunction. All right, so remember this is and, okay, that's the symbol for it. So it's true when both statements are true. All right, so just remember, as we're going over these are just very, very basic truth tables. We'll get into some more that are a little more complicated later on. But just remember in this right here, what I have in parentheses, that's important to remember, okay? Because once you know this, the truth tables are easy. If you don't know these little things that I have written in parentheses, then you're not going to know how to do these things, okay? So this right here, it tells you exactly how to fill out the truth table. The only way that this is true is when both statements are true, okay? So let's go ahead and look. So you might want to write that down if you're taking notes. So in this case, with and, I'm going to have two statements, P and Q. All right. So I can have both of them true. What I'm doing now is I'm listing all the possibilities I can have for the two statements. They can both be true, okay? Or P can be true, Q can be false, or P can be false and Q can be true, or they both can be false, okay? Now, as far as this right here, I don't know what your teacher's going to make you do. They may give you this. They may make you fill this out. For me, if you're in my class, these two columns will be given to you, okay? I don't want to grade 20-something different papers, because more than likely what's going to happen, if the teacher lets the student write this down, they may not write it in the same order, everybody. Okay, everybody might not write it in the same order. They may put this true false down here and the false false up here. And then it makes it harder for the teacher to grade. So I'm thinking probably your teacher will give you the first two columns here. Okay. If they don't, then just tell them what I just told you about makes it harder on them to grade if they don't, and then they might go ahead and give it to you. But if you're in my class, you don't have to worry about it. I'll give you that. All right, so now what we want the truth values for P and Q. Okay, so that's what we've got to fill out. What are the truth values? So remember, this is true only when both statements are true. So you can see here, P is true, Q is true. They're both true here. So that would make this statement true. Now, well, look at here. Q is false. They're not both true, so the statement's false. Both of them's not true here either. See, P is false, so that makes this statement here false. Here, they're both false. Neither one of them's true, so that makes this statement P and Q false. And that's the truth. That's the truth table for that one. All right. So like I said, these are just the basic ones, just getting you to, kind of understand what's going on. All right, so now what about the disjunction? Remember, this is or. So once again, you've got to remember what I have there in parentheses. So this is false when both statements are false. Okay, so any other time, that means it's true. All right, so let's do our truth table. I've got PQ. So I've got true, 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 false, false, true, and false, false. Okay. All right. So let's see what we've got here. We want to do the truth values for P or Q. All right. So it's false when both statements are false. So are both statements false here? No, they're both true. So that's true. Are both statements false in this one? No, so that's true. Are both statements false here? No, so that's true. Are both statements false here? Yes, so that makes it false. You see how easy this is? Okay, it's really easy. But you've just got to know this. You've got to know this. And you've got to know this. That's the important thing. Okay? It's important that you know that. All right. So let's look at this example here. All right. So this one's not bad. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. All right. So let P and Q represent the following statements. P is the statement 10 is greater than 4. Q is the statement 3 is less than 5. Determine the truth value for each statement. All right. So I want to do P less than Q. Okay. I'm sorry, not P less than Q. P and Q. All right. So let's look at statement P. 10 is greater than 4. That is a true statement. Okay. P is true. Q, 3 is less than 5. That is a true statement also. Now let's write it out here. That would be true, and this one would be true, right? Because both statements are true. And this is and. Okay? So if you remember before, and is true if both statements are true. Okay? So this would be true. The entire thing's true because both of them are true. All right, so what about this one? Not P. Okay, not P. All right, so let me move this down so we can see it the entire time that we're working the problem. All right, so I've got not P and Q. Okay, so first let's look and see what would the statement not P look like. Well, that would look like this. That would be what? 10 is not greater than 4, right? That would be not P. And then this symbol here is and then we've got Q, that's what? 3 less than 5. All right, look, I could have done that here. I could have written 10 greater than 4, and then I have what? 3 less than 5. And see, this one's true. This one's true. It's and. If both of them are true, the whole thing's true. Okay, so I'm just writing down what they're telling us here, what each statement is. All right, so if we look at this, T is not greater than 4. Well, is that statement true or false? Well, that's false because 10 is greater than 4. So this would be false. And what about this one, 3 less than 5? Is that true or false? Well, that's true. This is and, right? It's and. In order for and to be true, they both have to be true. So one's false, one's true. So that would make the whole statement false. Okay. All right, so let's grab this again and bring it down with us again so we can see it. All right, so let's keep doing that. Let's keep writing out what these things are. I think that helps. All right, so let's write down statement P. So P is 10 greater than 4. Okay, and then this is what? Or. And then here I've got not Q. So this would mean what? 3 is not less than 5. Now see, here's Q, so not Q would be not less. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Well, this is a true statement. This is a false statement, right? Because 3 is less than 5. So that would make this statement here false. And so this is or. Now, remember what it said for or. Or is false when both are false. So that means any other time it's true. And so this would be what? True. All right. All right, let's grab this and pull it down one more time. Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got here. We've got not P. So that would be what? 10 is not greater than 4, or 3 is not less than 5. So this would be not P, this one's not Q, and here's our or. All right, so let's write. Is this statement here true or false? Well, that's false. Let me go back to this color. That's false. Is this statement here true or false? Well, it's false. And so what would that make this? This is or. It's false when what? Both are false. Both of them's false. So that would make this one false. All right. All right. So I hope this is making sense. Okay. It's really not bad. Like I said, the stuff I had in parentheses up here, that is the important thing to remember. Okay. You've got to remember that. All right, so now we've got some examples. We've got several examples. Well, not several examples. We got, 4 examples where we're just going to construct truth tables. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's construct a truth table. So I want to construct a truth table for this, not P and Q. Okay, not P and Q. All right. So first, let's write down P, Q. And so I've got true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Okay. And like I said, that'll probably be given to you on a test, depending on what teacher you have. If you're in my class, you will definitely get it. All right, now we need the truth values for this. Now, what you want to do, or what you don't want to do, is try to just do the whole thing in your head. I mean, don't go straight to this one. Don't go there and try to get that value in one shot. Okay? Break these things up into pieces. That's what's going to make it easiest to do. All right? So, and let's just go ahead and do this in red. So the white part, that's what's given, and then what we do in red is what we're doing. So let's do P and Q. Okay? I'm just doing what's in those parentheses. That's all I'm doing. All right. So P and Q, that would be what? True, false, false, false. Okay? Because remember, and in order for both of those, in order for that to be true, they both have to be true when it's and. Okay? So I've got that. All right. So now let's come up here and do the not P and Q. Okay, we can just do the final one now. See, we've got this, and what do we need? Not P and Q. See, not P and Q. So what would not P and Q be? Well, remember, negation is the opposite truth value. So this column here would be the opposite truth value of this one. And I have no idea why I have a F there. That is true. Okay. So this column here is the opposite truth value of this. See, this column here is the negation of P and Q. And so this would be false, true, true, true. And that's your answer. This is it right here. This right here would be your answer. All right. All right. Let's look at the next one. All right. So let's do a truth table. So I've got P. I've got Q. So I've got true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. All right. So once again, don't try to do the whole thing in your head, okay? Just do it piece by piece. So let's get a column for not P, and let's get a column for not Q. Okay, so I think I'm going to do those in this little gray color here. So I need not P, and I need not Q. Okay. All right, so remember the negation, that's the opposite truth value. So I'm doing the negation of P, so that's the negation of this column. So that would be what? False. See, false. This is false, so this would be true. This is false, so this would be true. Then I need to do the negation of Q. So this is true, so that would be false. This is false, so that would be true. This is true, so that would be false. This is false, so that would be true. Okay, so now you can see I've got each little piece here. See that? I've got each little piece. Now I can do not P or Q. See, not P or not Q. So let's do the answers in red. So I've got not P or not Q. So what do I have here? I've got or. So remember, or is false when both are false. So any other time, that would be true. Okay? So this would be what? False. One's false, one's true, so that's true. True, false. That would be true, true, true. That would be true. Okay. All right. Remember, for or, the only time that it's false is when both of them are false. All right. I hope everybody's getting this. All right, so let's look at this one. Okay, so we got one here. So let's do P, Q. All right, so we've got true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. All right, so let's see what we need to do. Okay, so we're going to do this inside the parentheses first. So we're going to need a column for not P. We're going to need a column for not P or Q. And we're going to need a column for not Q. So let's go ahead and do not P. Let's do a column for not Q. Okay, that'll take care of this and this. And then we're going to need a column for not P or Q to get this part in parentheses. And then once we get this column, we have the not Q column. Then we will be able to do our final answer. Okay. See, all you've got to do is just go through it piece by piece and write down what you need. Don't try to do the whole thing in your head. All right, so let's get the not. I tell you what, pause the video and see if you can do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this. So not P, so that's going to have the opposite truth value of each of these, which we just did that. So that's what? False, false, true, true. And then we have not Q, so that's going to have the opposite truth value of the Q column. So that's false, true, false, true. All right. Now let's get this column. Not P or Q. Not P or Q. So that's this column and this column. See, it's this one and this one. I've got to do or. So what's or? Well, that's what? It's false when both of them are false. Any other time it's true. So are they both false here? I'm looking at this T and this F. They're not both false, so that would be true. Here they're both false, so that would be false. They're not both false here, so that would be true. And they're not both false here, so that would be true. Okay. All right. Now we're ready to do our final one. All right, so let me erase this. All right, so I'm doing this, not P or Q, and not Q. So I'm doing this column, that's for this, and this column, and I'm doing and. So remember, for that is true when both of them are true. So any other time, it's false. Okay, are they both true here? No, so that's false. Are they both true? No. Are they both true? No. Are they both true? Yes. And there's your answer. Okay? All right, let's look at this one. What about this one? P or not P. Okay, so don't let it confuse you any. Okay, so our statement is P. So that can either be true or false. See, we don't have two statements here. We just have one statement. Okay. All right. So what do I need? Well, I need not P. Okay. And then once I get not P, I can do P or not P. All right. So not P, that's the opposite truth value. So that would be false and that would be true. Now this is or. So remember, or is false when both of them are false. Any other time, it's true. So this would be true, true. And there's your answer. All right. All right, so let's see. We are, I think, yeah, this is the last problem here. All right, so for this one, it says construct a truth table for the following statement. I study hard and ace the final, or I fail the course. Okay, so we want to construct a truth table for this. So what we need to do first is let's write down what each of our statements are. In this case, I have what? I have 3 statements here, right? I've got I study hard, ace the final, I fail the course. Okay, that's our 3 statements. So we have P, I study hard. Q, I ace the final. And R, what was R? I failed the course. Okay. So there's our statements. Okay. So let's write this statement in symbols. Okay. That we did that in the previous section. Okay. So watch that video to see that. So let me go ahead. I'm not gonna rewrite that statement. What I'm gonna do is I am just gonna highlight it. Now we copy it, and then we bring it down here. Okay, so here's our statement. So first, let's get this thing let's break it up. Okay, so we've got I study hard, right? I study hard. So that's gonna be, this right here is going to be P, right? And, okay, I ace the final, or ace the final, same thing. That would be Q. Oh, look here, we've got a comma here. So that's going to be grouped together. Or, and then I have this. There's R. Okay? So what they're asking me to do is do a truth table for P and Q or R. They want a truth table, just like we got finished doing up here. Okay, that's all they're wanting me to do. The only difference is in the problems up here, they went ahead and they said, here's the statement, do a truth table. And what they did down here is they said, okay, we've got a sentence here. So write it, go ahead and write the statement in this form, and then find the truth table. So what we had to do first is convert it to get it into this, and now let's do a truth table. So this one's going to be a little bit different because here we have 3 statements, don't we? We've got 3 statements. All right, so let's go ahead and do P, Q, and R, okay? And this is no different than how we did the other ones. The difference is, now remember in the previous ones, we had to write down all the possibilities. See the true, 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 false, false, true, and false, false. Well, with 3 statements, it's a little more. There's more options. So this would be what? True, true, true. and then we would have true, true, false, and then we have true, false, true, and then we have true, false, false, and then we have false, true, true, and then we have false, true, false, and then we have false, false, true, and then false, false, false. Okay, so there's a few more that we have to do. Okay, it's a few more that we have to do. Now, let's go through and see what columns we need. Okay, so we're doing, now look what we're doing here. We're doing this or this, right? So I've got to figure out what this is. So I need this column. Now, remember, in this case, the first three columns will probably be given to you, okay? If your teacher wants to make it easy on themselves on grading it, they'll give you all of this, okay? All right, I know I will. So, all right, so we need what? P and Q. And then what do we need? Well, we don't need anything else because, see, the only other column we need is R, and we have it right here. Okay, so once I find this column, then I'm going to do this column or this column. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this out. So I've got P and Q. So to get this, I'm just looking at the first two columns. I need P and Q. Now remember, and is true when both of them are true. That's the only time it's true. Other than that, it's false. All right, so let's look. Both are true, so that's true. Both are true, that's true. One's true, one's false, so that's false. This one's false. This one's false. This one's false. This one is false. And this one is false. Okay, so hopefully you got that. Remember, the only time it's true is when both of them's true, and the first two here, see, this one and this one, that's the only time they're both true. All right, so now I'm ready to get my final answer. So now I can do P and Q or R. All right, so remember, I'm doing this or this. All right, see, P and Q, which is here, or the R. So or is false when both of them are false. Any other time it's true. So are they both false? No. So that's true. Are they both false? No, so that's true. True. Here they're both false, so that would be false. This one's true. They're both false, so that would be false. This one would be true, and they're both false here, so that would be false. Okay? And that's your answer for part A. Okay? That's your answer for part A. All right, so now let's see what they want to know. Part B, suppose that you study hard, you do not ace the final, and you fail the course. Under these conditions, is the compound statement in part A true or false? All right, so it's not really difficult. So basically what they're doing is they're changing each of these statements. Well, they're not really changing. The only one they're changing is this one right here. Okay, so suppose that you study hard. Okay, you study hard. You do not ace the final. So that would be like what? You do not ace the final. But we are told, okay, so you're told that you do not ace the final. That's what makes that false. Okay, this is true. See, we're looking at this. We're comparing it with the original statement. And I failed the course. Okay, and that was I failed the course. So if you look at these, that would be true. Well, let's write it up here. So suppose that you study hard, so that's true. You do not ace the final. Well, this is I ace the final, so that would be false. And you fail the course. That would be true. So those are the truth values, okay? All right? That's the truth values from this new statement here. So those truth values are actually what? True, false, true. See, that's what we got out of it. True, false, true. Okay? Now, all you have to do is you go to where this is. See, remember, this is the P, Q, and R column. All right? So we've got true, false, true, which is this one right here. And what are they asking us? Under these conditions is the compound statement in part A, see, that, true or false? Well, we did the truth table for that compound statement right here. Okay, so under those conditions, you can see we've got true, false, true. So that would make the part B, that would make it what? Look at that, true. See, once you get that truth table, it's easy to go look up and find what it is. I mean, because you got every possible scenario right there. Okay, you got all your options there. All right, so I hope that wasn't too difficult. I think probably the most difficult maybe would be this last one that we just did. But other than that, every one of them, I mean, they're all easy. It's just a matter of remembering that, what they have in the parentheses there. Okay? And if you're in my class, no, you can't use a card to write those definitions down. You got to remember them. Okay? All right, so I hope this helped. Check out my other videos. Give me a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.